Hello students, I'm back. Today we're going to learn science, this book. The first chapter, we'll start from the first chapter from this book, Awareness Science. So the first chapter is about characteristics of living things. So let's go. Okay, so students, some things around you are living and some are non-living. So plants and animals are living and humans are also living. Rocks, chair or mud are non-living. All living things have at least 5 features in common, which are living things are made up of cells, living things grow and change, and then third one is living things need energy. Number 4 is living things respond to their environment. Number 5 is living things reproduce. So we're going to learn this five common features of living things. A cell, living things are made up of cells. So now we are going to learn that what is cell. A cell is the smallest living part of a living thing. Most cells are so small that you can only see them with the help of a microscope. Every part of the body of all plants and animals is made up of cells. So the cell is the smallest living part. It's living, not non-living. Cell is a living thing. It is the smallest living part of a living thing. Most cells are so small you cannot see without a microscope. You can see them, but with a microscope. Every part of the body all plants and animals are made up of cells. Every humans and animals and plants are made up of cells. We also have cells. Some living things are so small that they are only made up of one cell. Like, for example, ants. Ants are so small we cannot see them. That's why we kill them without intending to kill them. So they have only one cell. So then next, large animals have millions of cells in their body. It's obvious that the large animals will have many cells in their body. Like the plants also have cells. So if the plants are big, they have more cells, and if the plants are small, they have less cells. Living things grow and change. The second feature the second feature of living things. Living things grow and change. We all know living things grow and change. We also grow and we also change. Puppies grow into dogs. Birds change into flowers. Flowers wither and change into fruits. Animals stop growing after some time. You will not grow any taller after a few years. We all know that. Nor will your body parts increase in size. If we don't grow, our body parts will obviously not increase. That's why we're not growing taller. There is a specific age where you will not grow any taller. But a plant keeps on growing as long as it lives. It says in this line that a plant, like we don't grow after some time, but the plants keep on growing and growing and growing until it dies. New leaves and branches keep appearing on it. We know that it blossoms and new leaves come. Then new leaves and branches keep appearing on it. New branches grow in the brick trunk. The size of the cell of a living thing does not grow very much. The size of the cell of a living thing does not grow very much, but it doesn't grow very much, but it reproduces more cells. It doesn't grow bigger, the cell doesn't grow bigger, but it reproduces more cells like it. Okay, living things grow by reproducing more cells. See here, living things grow, like we are growing taller because we are growing bigger because of the cells. The cells of our body are reproducing more cells. That's why we are growing. The more cells you have, the bigger you are. Ultimately, all living things grow old and die. Yeah, all living things grow and die. We know that. Now, the third feature of a living thing. Living things need energy. They get energy from food. Animals have to find and eat food. Yeah, animals, in order to eat a food, they need to find that food and then they eat it. Plants make their own food by a process called photosynthesis. Plants reproduce their food in a process called photosynthesis. They make their own food. Plants make their own food. They use carbon dioxide of the air, water from the soil, and sunlight to prepare their food. So the plants use carbon dioxide of the air, water from the soil, and sunlight too, and they also use sunlight to prepare their food. They need all of this to make their own food. This takes place in green leaves in the presence of the green substance called chlorophyll. This takes place, so we know that this takes place in green leaves in the presence of the green substance called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll traps the energy of the sun and photosynthesis takes place. So that chlorophyll in the leaves of the plants takes the sun's energy and the photosynthesis, and that is how the photosynthesis take place. That is how they make their food. Food is required by living things to grow, to move around, and to keep their bodies healthy. So food, why do we need food? We need food because living things, it helps living things, it helps us to grow, to move around, so that we can move around and to keep our body healthy, and it helps to keep our body healthy. Food is converted into energy inside the cells. So food is, after we eat the food, it converts, it makes the cells create the energy. It is converted into energy inside the cells. The cells take the energy from the food. Living things require an oxygen from the air to get energy from food. This is why all living things respire. During respiration, the oxygen from the air is breathed in and reaches the cells. So what did we know here? Living things require oxygen from the air to get energy from food. So living things need oxygen, of course. This is why all living things respire. So that is why they respire. During respiration, the oxygen from the air is breathed in. So during the respiration, the oxygen is taken in, breathed in, and reaches the cells. And the oxygen reaches the cell. After food is converted into energy, carbon dioxide is given out by the cells. So after the cells take the food as energy, then carbon dioxide is given out by the cells. So we breathe out, we inhale carbon dioxide. This is breathed out during respiration. So then animals respire in different ways. So now animals also respire. Some animals, such as mammals, have lungs. Mammals have lungs, like we also have lungs. Insects have tiny holes called spiracles, and fishes have gills, which which absorb oxygen dissolved in water. So fishes have gills to breathe in and breathe out. So and insects have tiny holes called spiracles. The cockroaches have spiracles. Plants respire through tiny holes in their leaves called stomata. Plants breathe in and breathe out by the tiny holes in their leaves. They have tiny holes in their leaves called stomata. Now the fourth feature of living things. Living things respond to their environment. The environment is where everything around a living thing. So what is environment? Environment is everything around you. Sunlight, weather, and weather are a part of the environment. Sunlight and weather are also the part of the environment. Most animals sense their environment with the help of their sense organs: eyes, ears, nose, skin, and tongue. So most animals sense their environment by the 5 senses, which are eyes, ears, nose, skin, and tongue. They respond to it in various ways. When an animal sees food, it moves towards it to catch it. So they don't say if someone talks to us, calls us, then we respond yes. We respond by like that. But they respond like if animal sees food, it moves towards it and catch it. They don't say, wow, I got the food. They just goes towards it and to catch it. When it feels cold, it tries to find shelter. When you see good food, saliva starts flowing in our mouth. Yeah, it's true. When you see a good food, when you see when you get a tasty, when you see a good food, then saliva starts falling in from your mouth. Plants do not have sense organs, but they can also feel changes around them. So plants do not have. Animals have. We have sense organs, the 5 sense organs, but plants don't have. But still, they can feel changes around them. A plant can feel the sun and respond by growing towards it. The leaves of the plant touch me not. So the leaves, it is a plant's name, touch me not, can feel something touching them and respond by closing. So this plant, touch me not, when you touch it, then it respond to us by closing their leaves. Don't touch me. They said, don't touch me. Animals respond to their need for food and shelter by moving around in search of them. Plants do not need to look for food and shelter. They make their own food. They remain fixed at one place. So now the 5th one is living things reproduce. So obviously living things reproduce, like snakes, like here is a picture. Snakes reproduce. Everything reproduces. Living things reproduces. All living things can reproduce. New living things come from adult living things. Animals reproduce by giving birth to babies or by laying eggs from which babies come out. Most plants reproduce seeds from which new plants come out. Some plants, fern is a plant name, reproduce spores. Here it is. Here is the fern. It reproduces the seeds and the seeds fell down in the soil, and then the seeds are called spores. The fern seed are called spores, from which new plants develop. Okay student, that's our chapter. That's our first chapter. I explained to you everything, and now your work is to do the exercises. So what's the time? Oh, it's time. The time is over. Okay, guys. Okay, students, I will meet you in my next class. Bye 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 bye.